Hello, we are making pork chop today. I bought this fresh pork from Albertson. It's only $6. Step 1. We need to wash and rinse the pork chop really well. So put it into the water, a little bit of salt, and just let it sit there for about 20 minutes. And then all the blood and all the dirt is gonna come out from the pork chop, and rinse it really well. I probably rinse it for 5 or 6 times, so you can see that the water has a little bit kind of like bloody stain, but the meat itself become more and more white, which means a lot of dirt is coming out from the meat. Some of the blood also come out from the meat. It will taste much better if you rinse it well, clean it well before you cook. Then I use paper towel, dry the meat. Other ingredients include garlic, lemon, flour, and then I need to pre-cure the pork chop itself. After I dry the pork chop, I just a little bit of salt, a little bit of sugar, a little bit of black pepper, very little. Let it sit for another 10 to 15 minutes. And we are going to use olive oil to pan fry the pork chop today. Let's start. So I already turned on the fire. I put some olive oil, put the garlic in. So just let it pan fry a little bit, and you will start to smell the aroma from the garlic, which means it's ready. So we can put the pork chop in. But we will need to put the pork chop cover with flour first. So here pick up the pork chop, cover it with flour both sides, and then I just put it on the pan with my bare hand. It's not that hard. It's not that hard. It's not hot. It's okay to put a lot of flour, it doesn't matter. It's not gonna affect anything. Okay, here I just turn the fire to a bigger one, so I can get that crispy golden color on both sides. And it will take a while to pan fry this pork chop because the pork chop that I use is pretty thick. But if you want to make it even faster, you can actually cut the pork chop like 2 slices, so it will become like 4 pork chop. But if you do have some patience, you can definitely use a thicker one. So here I'm just pan fry one side of the pork chop. So I like to pan fry one side. So I wanted to have a fully cooked pork chops. This pork is different from beef. So pork really need to be fully cooked. So I just put the cap in on top. So let it simmer for a little bit. See, I flip it to the other side. Continue to pan fry it. I put the garlic on top. Just don't put the water, never put the water in, because the pork itself has a lot of water in it, so you don't have to put the water in. Sorry if the camera is not stable because I'm waiting for my tripod. I'm still holding with my left hand and my right hand is cooking. So here I'm checking on the meat. It's still not fully cooked because I can see there's a little bit red blood kind of like coming out from the meat. So it takes a little bit longer time. yeah, I wanted to get all the oil, the olive oil, the garlic, that all of the ingredients kind of sticky to the meat itself. Once it's cooked, you're gonna notice that the pork chop itself, it will shrink. Like the protein will shrink. The protein fiber will kind of like lose the water, and then it will become a little bit harder and a little bit like tight. Like, I don't know how to say that, but you'll see that it's gonna become a little bit more tight, the pork chop itself. So that means the fiber inside is fully cooked, like the protein is fully cooked. So it looks pretty good, but I still feel like, to be safe, I put the cap back on for a little bit while. I just let it simmer for a little bit longer time because my boyfriend cannot eat anything that is raw, so I try to make it fully cooked. I don't know if anybody cannot eat raw food, like. So it looks pretty good, still a little bit red, but alright, so I put my chopstick in. It looks still a little bit of red coming out, so I'm gonna put the cap back on once again. Alright, so this time I'm gonna let it steam a little bit longer. Ooh la, I'm just playing around with the cap. So I think totally I steam it for at least 6 or 7 minutes at least, because this two pork chop is very thick. But if you just cut it half in the middle, then you probably need less time. So the reason why I put the flour is that the pork chop within the meat, there's a lot of water. So if you put the flour, the water will not come out. Even if it comes out, it will absorb by the flour. So it won't feel like the whole pan is like full of watery. That's a little bit disgusting to me. Alright, I am turning to number 5, which is the high heat. I'm gonna pan fry it for the last 1 minute or 30 seconds just to burn both sides a little bit more so that you get that golden color. And I also try to use the chopstick because one hand holding the camera, right? The other hand I'm using the chopstick. I should use how do you call that? The horn, but oops. Oh, okay. I just turned off. Ooh, that's the final result. It is very delicious, no joke. So don't forget to put the lemon juice on top. It will level up the meat to another level. Like, this tastes good, but it's not like extremely good. But if you put lemon juice on top, just a little bit, squeeze a little bit of lemon, it just have that taste to another level. Both me and my boyfriend